Alright, what is up everyone? It's your boy Strasbourg. Welcome back to another fun-filled extravaganza in the world of playing through guitar pedals. So today we're looking at something that I never thought I'd actually do a demo on. It's a pedal I just kind of bought for myself because I'm a fan of the sounds it creates and the people who are involved in making it. Never really planned to make a demo of it, but I've used it in a few videos in other contexts, and I've had a few requests to make a demo, so here we go. So let's just jump straight into what we're talking about. Let's get fucking to it. This is the Pariah from God City Instruments. Now, this is a collaboration between two of the people who I think are the best producers in the kind of metal world. Two of the best, anyway. This is a collaboration between Kurt Ballou and Will Putney. Now, Kurt Ballou is, of course, famous for being in Converge and a producer in his own right, and Will Putney is famous for, once again, being a producer, but also being in End, Better Lovers, and Fit for an Autopsy. And just two titans of the modern metal world, and not even necessarily modern. Kurt Ballou's been doing shit for ages, but you know, titans of the modern, just of the metal world. You know, Kurt Ballou has produced some of my favorite recent heavy albums, from High on Fire and Russian Circles. And Will Putney, I'm such a big fan of End and Better Lovers, two of the bands he's involved in. Never really given Fit for an Autopsy much of a listen. I have given them a bit of a listen, maybe not enough to fully get into it. It doesn't quite seem like it's my thing, but End and Better Lovers are sick. And of course, this is a End-themed pedal, Pariah, the song by End. You know, what more could you want? So yeah, let's get into it. So this is a highly tuned fuzz pedal, and if you know anything about the rigs that Will and the other guitarists in End use, you will know exactly what this pedal is based off. It is based off the Way Huge Swollen Pickle. They would run swollen pickles into the front of like 5150s, and I think is what they use in that band, and EQ'd in a certain way, just get crushing, disgusting tones. And that's basically what this is. And for those of you who don't know, the swollen pickle is like a Big Muff. So this is like a really highly tuned Big Muff, 4 silicon transistors at the heart of it, huge, big, disgusting, destructive tones. And I'm a fan of a Big Muff myself. I've been a long time user and fan, but I kind of dropped off the Big Muff thing. I was exploring other fuzz options. But then this came, they released this, and I missed the first 2 drops, which is like a blue and a red one, but then I got this green one at the end. These aren't currently in stock, but I think I did see somewhere that they are making more. So if you haven't got one, hold out hope. But yeah, God City Instruments is like Kurt Ballou's like thing where he makes guitars and pedals and stuff like that. Let's go through this pedal. So obviously you have your standard volume and gain controls, plenty of volume, plenty of gain on tap, nothing to worry about there, trust me. Typically when I run Big Muffs, I'll run the gain full blast, and I don't have to do this on this pedal because I feel like it's too much. There's too much gain. I usually run the volume and the gain like full blast on like more vintage style Big Muffs. Not necessary here. Then we have this mid control, the shift toggle, and the tilt control. So tilt over here, you can kind of think of the tilt control as like a tone stack. A tone control on a Big Muff, like the Big Muff would have. So you kind of, you know, really high frequency stuff over in the extreme end, and then kind of lower frequency stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like a Big Muff tone stack. The mid control obviously controls how much mids. You really crank it up, you get heaps of mids. You really back it off, it scoops the mids a lot. That's a nice feature that a lot of people like to use on Big Muffs. And then you have the shift control, and this shift control shifts where the midpoint is. So I think the way kind of a tone control, or like the tilt control, like on a Big Muffs or on this pedal works, is it decides where the mid frequency sits, and it kind of carves it out of the frequency spectrum. I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. And I think this shift control just dictates where that mid frequency sits, and then you can decide how much of it you want with the mid control, and then the tilt control gives you a wide kind of spectrum of sounds depending on which shift setting you're on. The middle setting, just kind of the toggle switch in the middle, is kind of like your fullest and your fattest sound, I think. And you switch it over here to the right, and it kind of becomes, I guess, over to my right, and you start bringing in a bit more kind of grinding mid-frequency sounds, but not too overbearing. And then you flick it over here to my left, and that's its most aggressive as far as the frequency goes. And this is where you can really get some like HM2 type sounds over on this side of the switch. But within each position on the shift toggle, there's so many different sounds just by playing around with the tilt and the mid control. This is potentially the most highly tuned, but also the most expansive and creative fuzz I've ever played. I don't think that's hyperbole. Like, I have fuzz pedals that I love the sound, but it's kind of like they have a sound, right? And that's kind of it. And this thing has a sound, but there's so many different shades you can get within this sound. Like, you can get kind of more crunchy, almost more distortion, overdrive tones, all the way through to really aggressive mid-forward HM2 sounds, to mid-scooped, heaps of low-end doom sounds. There's so much to be found within here that a demo is never really going to do it justice. Like the playing that you're about to see, or the song that was at the beginning of the video, will give you an idea of what this pedal can achieve. But really, you just need to play it for yourself if you can get one, and discover all that is to be discovered. So, that being said, let's get into the playing. So we're going to start off with guitar. I'm going to be using my Dunable DE Cyclops. Going to be running into the Mother preamp from Science Amplification. Going to be running channel 2, or channel B, which is the higher gain channel. And there'll be a bit of gain because this thing really doesn't like being run into a clean amp. At least in my personal opinion, it sounds better running... how do I word this? Sounds better the more gain you run after it. So basically, if it doesn't have to be an amp, but you want to run you don't want to run this straight into a clean amp. You want to run it into something with a bit of gain, whether that's a pedal, preamp, whatever. Going to have some gain going from the Mother Pre, and then going to be going into the Two Notes Audio Cab M Plus, running Science Amplifications IRs. And yeah, I said I was using my Dunable, didn't I? So yeah, that'll be for guitar, and then we'll do some bass. Should be same setup, slightly different controls on the Mother Pre, using a Fender 5-string precision bass, and bass cab sims, obviously. Let's get into it. everybody, thank you very much for watching, you little freaks, you fucking nerds, watching my shit about fucking nerdy fuzz pedals. No, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your help. Help? You didn't help me do anything. I appreciate your support. Every like, comment, view, subscribe helps me out on this little endeavor that I have been going along. Please don't judge me harshly for the production. I know big shoes, the production of the track at the beginning. I mean, big shoes to fill in this, considering the caliber of producer involved in making this pedal. My humble production skills will not live up to that. So please be kind and just be aware that I am aware of my shortcomings and that nothing you can say to me is not something that I've already said to myself. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Do you have the Pariah? Do you have anything that sounds similar or kind of is in the same camp? Obviously, HM2s come to mind, but kind of not really. More modern Big Muffs, just more modern aggressive fuzzes that get used in metal. Burp there. Yeah, let me know down below. But yeah, please like, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and fuck off.